What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
And together we are last week's album, The Only Reviews with two different views. And in this episode, we're talking about the new Angel Olsen album called My Woman. And we're exploring the big question, will Angel Olsen's timeless pop on My Woman make you roar? Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Angel Olsen is a singer-songwriter. She was raised in St. Louis, then lived in Chicago for a while, and now she's based in Asheville, North Carolina. This is her third album after her 2012 folky Halfway Home and 2014's more indie rock Burn Your Fire for No Witness. Let's dig into what this one sounds like. Derek, what do you think?
I think on My Woman, Angel Olsen sounds like Waxahatchee, Courtney Barnett, and Kurt Vile playing Fleetwood Mac covers.
Ah, interesting. I think it sounds like Patsy Cline takes a Joan Jett to Lucius-ville.
Nice. The Joan Jett references kind of came up to me a whole lot too. Glad you captured it there.
Yeah, and definitely Fleetwood Mac, to your point. Let's talk about some highlights. What do you got?
One highlight for me was My Woman was such a departure from Angel Olsen's last album. Sonically, instrumentally, and oftentimes lyrically explored a lot of new places. There were much more interesting character studies here. A lot of them were also relatable at the same time. So while it was kind of a departure, I think it was overall a step forwards.
Yeah, I didn't think it was like a huge departure. I guess maybe call it an evolution. I think it still sounds very much like Angel Olsen, but you're right. She does take some really rewarding risks here that give her sort of a new energy. She's playing with a much bigger palette of sounds. She's getting into some longer tracks and letting the music sort of go where it may. And that gives each track sort of a different feel as well. I agree with you. I do think it's a big step forward for her.
Kind of related to that was also my next highlight. The vocals were strong, similar to last albums, but I thought the backing band here really added a lot more depth, which also you could argue aided the experimentation we kind of mentioned earlier. One area where this really stood out to me was kind of the psych rock instrumental in Not Gonna Kill You. Really just kind of entered some new space for her, but I thought she nailed it.
Yeah, speaking of her vocals and her backing band, I thought just collectively they did a great job of jumping across eras, whether it's the way she sings or the sounds the band is making behind her. I mean, we get the best parts of 60s girl groups, 70s country, 80s indie, and 90s grunge, and she makes it all work, and the band makes it all work really, really well together.
Nice. Well, I guess that's a good segue into the tracks I dug. One I kind of mentioned earlier, the fifth track, Not Gonna Kill You. This one really reflects the 60s rock sound. This one's really kind of a slow builder. About the 4-minute mark, it really starts this psychedelic rock freak out with a screaming electric guitar solo. The next one I really liked was Heart-Shaped Face. Slower beat, at least initially, sleepy swing electric guitars, easy paced percussion, and very legato vocal phrasing, especially in the verses. Backing layered vocals joined later, more kind of a freewheeling bass guitar and chirping electric guitar flourishes. This one kind of warmed up in all the right places for me, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed Heart-Shaped Face as well. I thought the sort of chill, moody vibe, a little bit of haunting soul was really nice. This one goes a little long, but it never feels long. It feels sort of just the right length, and I'm glad she explored the sounds on this one. The other track I have, Derek, is number 3, Shut Up, Kiss Me. I really enjoyed its grungy guitar, trashy drums, barking vocals. It's about a, quote, love so real that it can't be ignored. I mean, we can't really tell if the lead character is sort of in denial or just having some playful fun. This is one of the singles off the record, and I think rightfully so. It grabs you quickly and definitely wants to make you hear more of this record. Well, those are some good highlights. What about lowlights, Derek?
I guess one gripe I have is just some of the later songs on the album were a little too long and wandering for me. Sister and Woman were both over 7 minutes. There's a lot of ebbs and flows throughout. They just seemed to drag on a little too long for me. And closing track, Pops, was a little slow, just her and piano. And while that's great, after the epic songs directly preceding it, it kind of gets lost almost. First half of the album was great, but then it didn't really finish is strong, I thought.
I don't know. For me, Lowlights, I didn't really have any. I would actually argue that it feels like a record, Derek, to your point. It feels like a fun, catchy, quick side A and like a longer, more contemplative side B. And I enjoyed that part of it. I think she did a good job letting songs meander, and I never really thought they got too long. And it's funny you brought up the last track as well, because on first listen, I hated it. To your point, this one gets lost. Why even put it on? You could have ended with the track before it. But after repeat listens, it grew on me, and I actually enjoy it now. So I don't really have any lowlights for this one. Everything I thought I didn't like at first, which is really just that one track, got better with time. Those are some good lowlights. What about overall rating and answering the big question, Derek? Does Angel Olsen's Timeless Pop on My Woman make you roar?
I'm going to start with the big question. There are definitely parts that will make you roar, such as Shut Up, Kiss Me. But at the same time, I think there are also parts that might make you snore. Sister and Woman and Kevin, the first time you heard it, pops. But I think it shows continued growth and evolution. The parts that make you roar definitely surpass those that make you snore. So I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5.
We'll agree and disagree, I guess. I really, really liked this one, and I think Will It Make You Roar? Absolutely. I think this is a huge step forward for Angel, as we mentioned earlier. She definitely sounds like she has found her groove and herself and her sound. This is a huge evolution from where she's been, and I think it's just a really great artistic statement, and it's put together really, really well, and I think will stand up to repeat listens. So I think this is actually might end up being a contender for one of the best albums of the year. I'm going to go 5 out of 5. So with Derek's 3, that's an 8 out of 10 for Angel Olsen's My Woman. So definitely check out this record and let us know what you think about it. We'd love to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to us here at Last Week's Album, either on YouTube or our podcast. And as always, I'm Kevin.
I'm Derek.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you next time.